It's been 11 days since we've checked our nuke that we installed, and so we're going to go ahead and take a look and see how they have done in comparison to our package. Okay, see some comb being drawn between the frames and the inner cover here, which tells me that they could be ready for another box or to move some frames in. We'll start on the outside, because these are less drawn frames. Even though they haven't drawn it yet, you can definitely see all the way on the outside here, there's more bees than we had in our package. Second frame from the outside. Outside edge has some comb with some nectar being stored. The inside edge here has some pollen, some nectar, and cells that I think will soon have eggs added. Our next frame here, got pollen, cap nectar, and lots of larvae in here. Back side, lots of eggs. There's our queen. She's working. Now we do see a queen cup down here, so we'll take a look at that in just a second. Bottom of the frame there, right by the queen cup, actually. Whenever I see a queen cup, I like to look and see if there's an egg in there. If there's not an egg in there, they're just practicing. Still makes you nervous that they're going to swarm. None of them had eggs in them. And the queen is definitely laying really well. Nice pockets of honey in the corners here. I don't see where our queen got off to. There she is at the bottom of that frame, so we put her in carefully. Almost solid brood on that side. A few holes that they put nectar in. Almost solid brood on that side as well. That's a lot of bees about to emerge. Again, I forgot our bases. Leaves a little extra room at the bottom, so we're going to switch out our bottom board. You can see here these larger cells, those are drone cells. A lot of times burr comb, this extra comb, they draw drone cells in. So we'll clean that up. I don't want to get it off for now. I'm going to get these bees off of it. Your queen can be on burr comb, but since we are pretty confident she's on the other frame, because we saw her there, we can pull this off without too much worry. And unfortunately, you'll lose some larvae, likely drone brood at the bottom there, but it's best to keep a hive organized and cleaned up and not have that burr comb at the bottom. So looking at the brood pattern, lots of brood. Lots of cap brood and some larvae. This frame is full. Next frame has some burr comb as well. Carefully take that off. We want to clean that up, especially if there's any nectar in it. You can get robbing, not this time in the early spring, but it's a good habit to maintain. Great looking frame. Almost wall-to-wall brood. This side, we've got cap brood, larva, young larva, and even some eggs up there. So this frame will be solid. Even though this outside frame, and I think this one is not drawn, this colony has definitely the potential for having a super added or a second beat box. Here we've got some brood and some pollen stores. More birth home there for us to clean up. Some emerging bees. This side, we've got capped brood, but in here we have young larvae and eggs. Those real tall ones are drone cells. Not great that they're right in the middle of the frame, because the queen shouldn't have laid a drone right there, so we'll keep an eye on her, but the rest of it's looking so good. If we get a bunch of drone cells like that in random places, then it's time to worry. Definitely need to get this colony another box. And I'm thinking, instead of another brood chamber, I'm thinking I will go right to honey supers on this colony. As we're getting near the flow, if they could draw that out and get it full of honey, that would be great. Outside frame here, glistening with nectar. We have a few queen cups, so we got to keep an eye on this queen. Glistening nectar and some pollen there on that side. This side is undrawn. I'm going to turn that side toward the brood. I'm going to take one of these undrawn frames and put it smack dab in the middle. See if that'll get them drawn that quickly. So in this colony, we started with 5 frames because it was a nuke, and actually we had only about 4 of the frames were all the way drawn. But now we have all but the 2 outside frames were drawn, so we have 8 frames drawn. And I'm going to turn this one too. This one has a good start. I'm going to turn this one in. And I'll put this one back in. Don't want to change it too much. Okay, so this colony is ready for a super on top for sure. Or another brood box. I'm going to go ahead plan on putting the super on here. So we will do that as soon as we can get one. It's always important to have extra supplies on hand. I didn't bring any supplies with me, and I'm actually out of honey super, so we have to go and purchase some. But exciting with how this is looking.